Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back, MXGP fans. We are going to take a look at the MX2 Race 1 highlights. I had a poor start. I got stuck in the gate a little bit, and I made up some positions on the first couple corners. Up into 12th. Eventually, I worked my way up to 4th place, into 3rd, and battling with Thomas Covington. That'll be a familiar. Then I just had this strange wreck just in the corner. I went down. I don't know how. Doing some battling. The AI is pretty slow in this part of the track right here. I was wheeling through that. This one, I just skied this whip and I kind of just fell from the sky. I don't know about that. So I came home in 13th. I was quickest in qualifying, actually, in practice. That was terrible. But I'm going to go with it. I didn't want to keep trying to get a better one. Hunter Lawrence, if you just watched AMA racing, he is in 250s in AMA in the USA. He almost had a win in one of the motos. Oh, look at this whole shot race 2. Boom. Whole shot by Resolute Kraken. So I really like the Mexico GP here at Leon. I remember this track from MXGP 2. I did a lot of laps, but man, it looks a lot better in this game. Much improved. And I'm sticking with the first person mode. For some reason, at least on this track, I am not having problems with throttle control anymore. I'm still on pro physics. I'm only on hard AI. I don't feel good enough. I'm not that good yet for realistic on this game. Might bump it up later, but right now I'm getting a good challenge with the hard AI, but everything's on pro physics. But yeah, this track, I really like it. It really does feel like a motocross track. It's really rough. There's some spots. It's really fun. This little part right here, this little like hip jump almost, little double there into that corner is pretty fun. But it's rough in places. It's pretty fun. This one got to make sure to slow it. I almost overjumped that. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys use the clutch in this game? I found that in MXGP Pro, I have been using the clutch a lot. I generally don't shift down in the second gear, and so I'm lugging the bike in third in most of the corners, and if I need to, this track's not too many times, but I'll just hit that clutch, and it has a different reaction than Supercross the game ever did. This one, it seems like it's programmed different, where it's more smooth. It actually will rev that bike for you really good and let off slow. It keeps the revs going, so it's actually useful. Again, because the buttons are mapped to a digital button. It's not analog like a regular clutch would be on a motorcycle. But it feels different than Supercross 2. In Supercross 2, try to use the clutch. It's really on and off, and it doesn't seem like it does anything at all. So I'm not sure. Hey, if you can let me know in the comments what you think about the clutch, in general on this game or in Supercross 2. I think it would be interesting to try to map that button to an analog switch somehow on the controller. I'm using an Xbox One controller, but there's really no other analog buttons that I could use. If you have I think one of the the Pro controllers has a couple more switches on the back, but I'm not even sure if they're analog or not. Who knows? Yeah, so I'm rocking this one. I've got a decent lead. Man, that first moto was tough. I went down just some crazy weird crashes in the corner and skying off the jumps, and man, it was just not a good time. 13th in the first race. So the last MXGP race I have watched was Portugal. MX2, I think Prado did his thing. He got the overall. Nothing too exciting there. I think Prado, and then he regained the red plate, the points lead, and Olsen didn't have too good of a race on the Husky. I was surprised. I hadn't been following too closely MXGP, but Tim Geiser, he won both motos in MXGP class. Cairoli was leading the second one. I'm not too sure what happened on the first one. I didn't get to catch the highlights, but I did watch the full second race. Cairoli was leading the second race, and I think DeSalle got the whole shot, and so Cairoli had to make some moves on him after a few laps, and Geiser was coming though on the Honda, and Cairoli really had to push, and he just made a small mistake on the after the finish line jump, I believe it was, and he just tucked the front into the corner, and Geiser got by, and that's all she wrote. So Geiser got the overall win, and that was now Geiser has five race wins. Cairoli still has 7, and but Geiser is still, I believe, 34 points back in the championship. But yeah, it's kind of nice. I mean, I don't follow MXGP that closely, but you know, usually it's always those KTM guys, either Cairoli or Hurlings. Last year, Hurlings is out hurt, but from what I've heard, he is back on the bike riding. So it might be the next race he's back. I have not watched yet the GP of France, so I can't tell you if he's there or not. I will check that out before the next video, though. We'll talk about Hurling's return. So I'm still rocking this race. I hope I can win this. I have no chance at the overall. And why I couldn't do this in the first moto, that's the thing. It's hard to get away from calling them motos versus races. US, we have Moto 1 and 2. The GPs use race 1 and race 2. Hard habit to break when you're playing this game, and to call it the race 1 and race 2. So if I have any non-US viewers watching this video, let me know. Do you guys follow the AMA Nationals, you know, the USA series? Let me know if you do in the comments, and what you think, if you've been watching, if you guys can watch it in other countries, what you think about the championship so far. Looks like Ilya Tomac is he's getting his train going again. He's won 3 out of the 4 motos so far this year, and we'll see. Ken Roxon didn't have a good second race. We'll talk about that in another video, but he's there. He got his first overall in a few years at the first race of the year at Hangtown. So we'll see. Final lap. Oh, okay, that was the pro physics got me there. I don't know how I did that though. Oh, who's this? I think that's Thomas Covington. Thomas Covington, since his move to the US, has not gone very well. He actually, man, his Supercross season was terrible, and then he didn't do really well at the first race of the year in outdoors, and this last one at Paula, he went 11th in the first moto and 25th in the second. I mean, this is the guy who's won this particular race here, the Grand Prix of Mexico, in GPs, and something is wrong with him. I don't know if he's got an injury or something. I haven't read too much about it, but everyone's kind of surprised. I mean, he needs to get going. Otherwise, he probably wishes he would have stayed in GPs, because, man, something's going on. All right, I think I held him off. Oh, went a little wide there. Let's see. Yep, we're going to do it. Boom. That was a close one, though. He hunted me down. Look, nobody's even close to us. He was hunting me down. All right, so first in race 2. 5th overall, though. Well, that's not bad. Covington got the overall. Oh, man, points. I think I actually dropped. I'm in 8th. Hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. I want to hear from you guys. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks a lot.